Okay, so now our job is to, when we understand quantum physics, uh, people who saw the movie, what the bleep do we know? There's moment they show a quantum physics experience. It's a cartoon in the movie. You can still watch that cartoon on YouTube. It's called Dr. Quantum, the double slit experiment. And we repeat different experience. And then there's moment we get the same result with that experience. And then the scientists put a camera. From the moment he put a camera, it changes the result of the experience. And then the moral of the story in quantum physics is when an observer observes well an experience, it changes the result of the experience. So now, when in recalling we build a lifetime line, the project purpose, pregnancy time, plus the family tree, 3 generations, something changed. It's amazing. Just observing that. I give you an example of the family tree. Okay, when when I work at the moment with Los Angeles, okay, and there was a woman who had stage 4 lung cancer. Okay? So when we study lungs, lung is the fear of dying. Sometimes it's a person that doesn't find any reason to stay alive. I have enough. And the key word for lung is adaptation. That means someone who has lung cancer, he can't adapt himself to this world anymore. So they don't wish to die. But when you feel you cannot fit anywhere, subconsciously, many people think about leaving this world. Okay, that's the moment the automatic brain pick up the sensation of maybe I'm gonna die. Okay, so at that moment, the brain sends more cells to the lung alveoli, and the person is diagnosed with lung cancer. But the logic of the brain is to create a turbo function in the lung. Right? So it's a lung tumor, an adenocarcinoma. It kills the person slowly, but at the origin was just to multiply the capacity to breathe because the brain felt the person wanted to die. Okay, that's the way the brain works. So now I have a woman that 45 years old, and then she went through chemotherapy, and the doctor sent her home because she's hopeless, she's gonna die. And that's the moment she came to see me. And of course, after 2 sessions, I felt I couldn't help her. She's already dead. Okay? And then just before she left, I said, Monica, I forgot to ask you a question. At that time, I didn't build family tree for all clients because it takes time. Okay. And so I said, okay, Monica, you have a mother and a father. Okay. Which number are you? Which birth order number are you in your family? So Monica is a sister number 1, and Monica is number 2. And then I put in a square the client, right? And so I write her name, Monica. She's 45 years old, and she has lung cancer. Okay, so now her mother is a number 1 child, only a child. So we consider miscarriages and abortion. So I asked Monica to call her mom to make sure she didn't have abortion or her mother didn't have any abortion as well. Okay. So the mother says, no, no, I'm the only child of my mom. My mother didn't have any miscarriage and abortion. Okay. Her mother, the grandmother, okay, here she's also a number 1. But this grandmother had a sister number two, okay, who died at 45 years old. So Monica asked her mom, she died from what? Lung cancer. Okay. So when the mother told her she died from lung cancer, see, this number two was in vibration with Monica number two, 45 years old, 45 years old. Just an information, an observation, okay? Now Monica's in my office and she has the chill like that, okay? When she hears that, it's just a news, just an information, huh? But 6 months later, Monica healed completely her lung cancer on one simple information, observation. So this is why the work of the family tree comes from a woman who died at 99 years old last year. Okay, she built family tree for 65 years, and she noticed as she built family tree, you create a field of observation. When you observe what happened in the previous generation, sometime you contribute to heal something in the next generation. Why? Because I am in my body the answer to the problem my ancestors did not resolve. So, what is the problem that didn't resolve? Okay, because we know the conflict, we research and we find something. It's the same thing with the job that you do. Okay, you come to do a job, you think you choose your job, but many times the person execute the job to answer and resolve the problem that was not resolved above in the family clan. For example, when you're a pharmacist, when you're biochemist, we find in your family food poisoning or poisoning above. If you're homeopath, we find above in the family clan, allopathy killed someone. The, the drug dosage was too strong. So now the next generation produce an homeopath. Okay, so that's the daily bread in recall healing.
Gilbert, I have here a question that relates just to the family tree, and I hope you don't
Yes,
mind me
please.
asking there. What do you do when you don't have access to the family tree?
Yes.
I've been,
So look, we work on what we know, and people, on my clients and many students, they say you always see the part that you cannot find. Huh? So, but what you do, you say, okay, I am me. Do I have any brother, sister? Did my mother had any miscarriage or abortion? Start like that, and then you build dad, mom. If you know that, it's already something. Okay, and some people already parents, grandparents. So you already have two, three, four generations sometimes just starting from you. It's fantastic, okay? Sometimes you don't find everything for yourself to heal yourself, but everything you find at your level can help your children and grandchildren to heal. And what I notice the most is when you start to ask questions, the universe start to respond. You start to have feedback from places that you couldn't expect before you start to ask questions. So the job is to start somewhere. Okay. And okay, I understand it can be limited, but sometimes we know enough to initiate a work, to initiate a healing, at least a degree of healing. Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now these um, last thing I want to say um, that we use a lot is the lifetime line. Okay. So I will give you something a little bit crazy. Okay. A woman doctor is in my workshop and she has shingles. And so I said, do you know why you have shingles? She says, no. Would you like to know? And I didn't know I would find, okay? But be open minded, okay, please, because it's crazy. Okay. So she's 57 right now. Okay. And then when you say shingles it's a skin condition with the nerve and it's very painful. Okay, we say is the repair phase the conflict of feeling soiled and hurt in my physical integrity. So, for example, we have many elders that have shingle. Why? Because these people have been autonomous all their life. They have respect of their body. But sometimes when you age, sometimes you pee in your pants, sometimes you have a gas, and some people make a bad comment on you, and you feel hurt in your integrity. And shingle is the repair phase of that. But sometimes shingle comes as a repair phase after a round of chemotherapy when the person loses hair, eyebrow, eyelashes. Okay, so it's possible. So now this doctor, let's call her Dana. No, let's say Donna. Okay, okay. And Donna she's a gynecologist, okay? And she's very Christian. You will see it's very important in the story. So now, why Shashingal at 57 years old? Normally, when you study hammer, we explore the year before. At 56, she had a Ericksonian hypnosis, and she got in touch with the feeling that she was abused as a child. She couldn't see the abuser, she couldn't have any flash, but she felt it. So it's possible that shingle come 1 year later, like the 1 year cycle anniversary, to heal that memory. Okay? Okay, so I write that memory at 56. Now, 56, I divide by 2. What happened to you, Donna, at 28? She says nothing. Okay, I divide 28 by 2. What happened at 14? Uh, we moved to a new school, a new city. Moved. And then when you're 14 and you have to go to a new school, what happened to you? She was bullied. Bullied is an attack against my integrity. So it's possible that at 57, she has shingle also because she was bullied. Okay? So I write that here. Then divide by 214, 7. I just want to give example, okay? And then but this story is true, okay? At 7, she remembers nothing. Now, see, I got these 3 numbers when I divided by 56. Now, I took these 3 numbers and add just for fun, okay? Just to explore. I don't have an expectation, but my job is to ask questions. Okay? So I said, okay, 7 and 14 is 21. What happened at 21? Oh, my first son was born. Okay. I thought that was beautiful. And then she says, but my husband cheated on me during the whole pregnancy. It was awful. Okay, so you're cheating. So you understand, cheating and shingles go well together. Huh? And then, oh my God, I remember now 28. She didn't remember the first time I asked her. Huh? Now she remembered 28, her second son was born. And then her husband cheated the whole pregnancy. Okay, so she felt soiled and hurt in her integrity. And this is why she didn't remember, because it was a hard memory. And then I added 14 and 28. What happened at 42? She said, I don't want to talk about it. But if you wanted to talk about it, what would you say? Well, she got pissed off at me because she's obliged to tell me, okay? She's a gynecologist. And in her country, it's forbidden to do abortion. She said, they are very Catholic. Okay? She said, I said no to 2,000 women in my life for an abortion. But at 42, I became pregnant and I had an abortion. She was ashamed of that. Okay, so I write that abortion. So when I wrote abortion here, she had a flash and she saw that when she's 7 years old, her father raped her. Okay, dad raped me. Okay, my point. This is This is big, okay? But in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we have access to bang, 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 all these cycles, okay? So now I know this woman now for another 10 years, okay? Her life changed completely since she did this work. Why? Because what you become aware of does not program your future anymore, or give you the capacity to transform or to react. Okay, that's the power of consciousness. The biggest danger is ignorance. Okay, this is why we repeat the same old, the same old. Uh, okay, so it's just an example of life cycle. But for each client, I always divide. You have other ways, but I keep that for another moment of information. Okay.
Yeah.